What's good, Josh? Your man DL Saint. Welcome to our Really Want to Know podcast. I know earlier you guys were joining me. I did a special episode. We're talking about the war in Israel, Israel, Hamas, the Gaza Strip, Palestinians, and everything. And that was simulcast on Downrange Podcast. I just did that because I wanted to definitely got to address it, and I kind of wanted to do it, give everybody an opportunity to see what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be covering that. If you want to see that, you got to go over to Downrange Politics to check that out. We'll be doing stuff pretty much every day, updates on what's going on over there. And so we're going to keep doing what we're doing over here. We definitely going to keep doing what we're doing over here. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this article, man. I saw this, man, I think a couple of days ago. A high school honors student was, class president and doing all of the extra stuff, all the different little clubs or whatever. Well, a video surfaced of her at a party twerking, and it cost her at least one scholarship and a whole lot of headache, a whole lot of heartache. It is crazy. We're going to read the article. We're going to watch a local news broadcast that had the actual video, which got her in trouble. And man, we're gonna chop it up right here, man. So let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. So yeah, let's definitely get into that. Appreciate that intro, man. I never get tired of that intro, man. Shout out to Shoo for hooking that up. It's Sister Deep, she does work. Brother Dino was good. Like, how was your weekend game, DL? Oh man, the Bengals won, and shout out to you, bro. Cincinnati Bengals went out to Arizona, man. They beat the Arizona Cardinals. It was a late game, and they were able to pull it out. Our quarterback, Joe Burrow, was hurt for the first 4 games of the season, looked pretty hurt. But yesterday, yeah, he looked like Joe Burrow. He was doing his thing. So the game was on point. Colorado won, I'm following Coach Prime and what he's doing. Colorado won with a field goal to win it at the very end of the game. People still hating on him, but it is what it is. And I was in Miami over the weekend. I was in Miami with one of my nights. Me and brother Manny were down there doing some recon, checking out some stuff, looking at some opportunities, and it's time to really get into it. Like, I'm gonna have to, I'm sitting down and I'm trying to, plan it out. Miami right now, especially right now in the YouTube space and all that, is definitely the Mecca. Everyone's down there, and if they're not, all the big YouTubers are down there. And if they're not down there physically living there, they're visiting there, they're coming through there. It is, in my opinion, becoming the Mecca for the whole YouTube thing. A lot of people, not just like the manosphere folks, but like finance folks. I mean, it's just so many, like Tim Cass, IRL were down there over the weekend. You got Valuetainment operating out of Fort Lauderdale, which is just up the street. You got, gosh, man, everyone's down there. Brandon Carter's down there. I could just sit down and probably put together a list of 20 top YouTubers, who are down there. Destiny's down there. Jason Wilder's down there. I mean, it's just so many to name. And then there's like the mid-size and the small YouTubers are down there too. But man, everywhere you go, in Brickell especially, there's someone filming. There's people walking around, and then you will go on YouTube and see them like, oh, I just saw that dude, or I just saw that woman. So we were down there doing a little recon, seeing what it do. Plus Miami's Miami. Miami's like, boy, definitely my favorite city. Once I'm growing up, once my daughter is grown, I'll be operating out of Miami for sure, for so many different reasons, right? But it was off the chain. Had a good time down there. The weekend was popping, man. I hope your weekend was good. Again, I don't keep abreast of what's going on in UK as much as I should. I should start doing that. I think start reading BBC articles more because I know you over there. Like, oh, let me see what's going on in London, and the surrounding areas. Let me see what's going on in UK. So, but I appreciate you, bro. Always coming through, supporting. Definitely appreciate you. And I appreciate all you Ninja watchers out there. Thank you so much for coming through. But we're going to get into this story about the twerking honor student, bro. And I mean, when I first read it, I'm like, like, I was split on the whole thing, right? I got different different takes on this thing, kind of split, like, what's going on with this? So we'll start with this article. And this is like a smaller uh publication. I mean, I just was, the New York Post did a story on this, but I wanted to stay away from the Post. Gonzalez Weekly, Citizen, and don't know where these people are, but this story is out of Louisiana. So Louisiana high school students' punishment for twerking draws social media outrage. And I like to try to use different sources just to see where it is. So a Louisiana high school principal removed an honor student from her role as student government president and withdrew a college scholarship endorsement in connection with a video showing the student twerking at an off-campus dance party following homecoming. So yeah, you got this, and here she is. You have this young lady who has an excellent, above excellent GPA, and probably was on her way to being the class valedictorian and all that good stuff. That's probably in jeopardy now. Um, you know, she was what the student government president or whatever. Yeah, student government president. I don't know if that must have been an elected office, like her, fellow students must have voted her in. But the president decided to move her away, and the principal decided to remove a scholarship endorsement, that's money now. That's just because she was at a homecoming dance off campus partying and she was twerking, apparently. Uh, and her name is Kaylee Timonet's story has made international headlines, and as many have expressed outrage in social media posts, remarking that the video clip appears to be innocuous, as she is shown dancing among several other teenagers at an event her mother chaperoned. So we're gonna see the video. The video is out there. We're gonna watch it on one of the local news networks aired the video. So right there, the fact that they even showed it on TV, it can't be too crazy. But there she is. She's holding up her certificates and stuff like that. This is a young girl who's in this school in Louisiana, and she's working hard and working on scholarships and stuff, doing her thing. The 17-year-old senior attends Walker High School, a public school in Livingston Parish, which is located about 20 miles east of Baton Rouge. The city has a population of about 6,400 people. Her mother, Rachel Timonet, said in an interview with Baton Rouge television station WAFB that the school's principal, Jason St. Pierre, called her daughter into the office after viewing the video from the September 30th private party at a Livingston Parish country club. After days of no response from the principal to media articles, Livingston Parish Public Schools released a statement October 8th from St. Pierre, in which he said he has apologized to the Timonets and that he planned to reinstate Kaylee Timonet to the Student Government Association. He also said in a statement he would reinstate the scholarship endorsement, though Rachel Timonet told WAFB the scholarship deadline has passed October 3rd and it was too little, too late. St. Pierre also acknowledged in a statement that he discussed religious beliefs with Kaylee during the meeting. In a video posted on Facebook group called What's Going On in Walker, Louisiana, Rachel Timonet said she did not have a scheduled meeting with the principal, as said in the statement. She also said the conversation about religion was started by the principal and the assistant principal. While the conversation was meant with the best intentions, I do understand that it is my responsibility to determine what students or others' religious beliefs may be. That should be the responsibility of the individual, St. Pierre said in the statement, right? That's the principal saying this stuff. Rachel Timonet said in her video statement, Bible verses and a religious bracelet were given to her daughter. And then she goes on to say, there's two things I've always taught my kids not to talk about. She said in the video, one is politics and one is religion. Rachel Terminates told WAFB she planned to consult with attorneys about the matter. Yeah, you know that's coming. If she wouldn't have had the support from the community, this really would have ruined her entire senior year. That's what the mom told the television station. Some on social media have compared the situation to the 1984 movie Footloose, which tells the story of a teenager from Chicago who moves to a small town where he tries to overrun a ban on dancing. He wanted to overturn a ban on dancing. Yeah, I never watched the movie. I know all about it. I thought it was horrible. I think that was Patrick Swayze, the star in that movie. Um, the online outcry also included T-shirts with the message "I stand with Kaylee Timonet" and "Let the girl dance." An activity she has been engaged in since she was 2 years old. And that's what her mother says. The morning of October 9th, the school district superintendent reported St. Pierre requested to take a leave for the remainder of the 2023-2024 school year. That's the principal. So he's the school district said on his behalf that he wants to take a leave for the remainder of the school year, which means they probably fired him. That's the end of that article, right? It's like, yeah, he wants to take leave for the rest of the school year. That dude's getting fired. There's no other way around it. That dude's getting fired. So this student who works hard academically, she's doing her thing. It was homecoming. She went to a homecoming dance. It was not at the school. It was a private event, apparently at some country club somewhere. And she was dancing with all the other kids at the event. Her mother was chaperoning the event, one of the chaperones, and she was allegedly twerking, right? Dancing, twerking, having a good time, doing their thing. Now, someone took video of this thing, and there was other. The Post reported that the DJ, I think it was the DJ or someone who was with the DJ, actually had the video and posted the video to social media, and that video made its way eventually to the school principal. And when the school principal saw the video, he was so outraged that he had this young lady come to his office, and I guess with the assistant principal, and they were talking about God and stuff. And I guess the conversation was pretty hardcore from what the article was saying. Um, you know, they were concerned for her soul, I guess, or making it to the afterlife or whatever they were talking about. Was, the Post article was pretty in depth. And they told her that they were going to remove the scholarship or remove the recommendation for the scholarship. That they told her she was no longer the president of that student body government thing. And she was just sitting in there, this young student, just senior, she's 17-year-old high school senior, sitting there flanked by these two adults being questioned about her activities outside of the school, like an outside school function or whatever. Is that, what I mean? First of all, not is that, you can't do that. All right. Let's just start off. You're at the public school, you're a principal at a public school. You can't do that. I don't know what the gender was of the vice principal, but you got the principal, you got a male principal calls in this young woman and wants to talk to her about twerking. And, basically shake your finger, I'm disappointed, and all this kind of stuff. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. And the only witness apparently is the vice principal. Now, we don't know if the vice principal and the principal were there at the same time when the student showed up. We don't know if there was one-on-one time with either adult, there with the child on their own. And you know what I mean? It's so many what ifs. And they're definitely going to have to, like the school district, the city, they're going to have to compensate this young girl at some point for something. Who knows what that's going to be, but I mean, I'm sure it's not going to go the distance, not going to go to trial or anything like that. I'm pretty sure they're going to offer some sort of settlement. If only it was just for the potential loss of the scholarship, which they only withdrew their endorsement. It's not as if she had the scholarship and then they took the scholarship away. But that's where the argument would come into play. And there's so many people on social media who are talking about this thing. It boils down to what I say on this platform all the time to folks, mostly young folks, right? Go out there and do your dirt. You know what I mean? All by yourself. Keep your dirt in the closet where it belongs, because it could, in fact, get you in trouble down the road. Plausible deniability only works, right, when there's no proof. So you have this, you have this kid, it's this young, young kid doing what all the young kids are doing these days. They're twerking, they're dancing. It looks the way it looks, and it got back to a person who thought that that was inappropriate, especially for someone who represents our school as, in some sort of leadership role. So it's kind of crazy. Miss AKA ladies in the building. What's good, sis? How you feeling? Yeah, we're talking about this young girl who got in trouble. She possibly lost a scholarship because there's a video of her twerking at a homecoming party, but it was not on school grounds. She goes to a public school. When the principal and vice principal talked to her about her behavior, quote unquote, they were also talking about religious. Like the conversation was allegedly from a religious point of view. And now that principal is on vacation or leave or whatever until the end of the school year, as if he just decided I want to go away for the rest of the year. Come on now, that dude, that's one of those quiet fires right there, bro. That's one of those quiet fires. But I mean, I believe that the principal and the vice principal were wrong for what they did. I'm gonna go right out there and say it. What they did was wrong. If that were a private school, okay, maybe. But it's a public school. You're a principal at a public school, even though you're in a small town, you don't get to do that to someone else's child. You don't get to call them into the office and use your authority as the principal and wave your finger, allegedly, and remove something as serious as a recommendation on a scholarship. You don't do that. Did that recommendation go to another student? We don't know. Of course, we're gonna have to wait for follow-up. You don't get to remove them from an office that they were voted into by the student body. I mean, maybe there's laws within the rules within the bylaws to allow the principal to do that, but you certainly don't get to go in there and talk about religious beliefs and give them all kind of what would Jesus do bracelets or whatever religious bracelet they gave her. Come out of there. Who knows? They was probably speaking in tongue and throwing holy water on her. Who knows what they were doing? You just don't do that. He jeopardized the entire school system, like whatever, like that's a political thing. Like you jeopardize probably the whole city, state, county, by making this move. And then like the mom was there at the party. So we're gonna watch the video of the actual dance, the dancing part, right? Because yeah, we're gonna watch the video of the dancing part. As a matter of fact, we'll just watch the whole. We'll watch the whole news broadcast. Let me pull this up for you. But I think the principal, I know the principal was wrong. And what the way the principal handled that, it was absolutely wrong. We're gonna talk about the mom and daughter as well, just like opinions on that. But I'm here to tell you that you just don't do what they did in the public school system. You just don't. So let's check out this. This is local news coverage down there in Louisiana, and they're talking about this event. So let's check this out.
Well, a Livingston Parish student could lose it all after a high school principal allegedly punished her for a dancing video on social media.
NBC Local 33 Sydney Simone explains what happened and how a community is rallying behind a teenage girl.
This is a video of Kaylee Timonette on the left wearing neon green.
Basically, the school is saying that my dance moves were like inappropriate and vulgar. And in the video, one of my friends, they were dancing and I was behind her, like, just having fun, hyping my friend up.
Timonette has been a dancer since age 2. She's also a student at Walker High School. On the night of September 30th, Timonette was enjoying what she thought was innocent fun at a non-school function after homecoming.
I was told that I was the only one in the video and that I had to be the example.
I was at the party myself, and I actually even watched the dancing.
The highlight of senior year quickly ruined when Timonette was called into the principal's office 3 days later for, quote, inappropriate dancing, that same type of dancing shown in this video of a school pep rally.
They saw a video and like that they were kind of ashamed of what I was doing and everything like that, I just started busting out crying.
Timonette is an outstanding student with many leadership roles and a prestigious scholarship. All of that is now on the line.
Since I have my name to so many different things at the school, that I had kind of like higher stipulations on what I can and cannot do.
Rachel Tim.
So there's half of it right there. Right. I didn't know the part about the school pep rally or whatever, and the kids, tend to be doing a form of twerking, but at the party, they were definitely getting loose. They had their hair down. She was, she was right behind her friend who was backing it up, and she was, simulating a smack, and they would just, they would turn it up. They were having a good old time. It is what it is. We're gonna watch a little bit more of this here in a second. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I doubt if she had to sign anything, some sort of moral clause at a public high school to be the student body president or whatever she is. Jill's Chocolate Boutique is in the building. What's good? Says, welcome. How you doing? Happy Monday to you. Brother D-Max, like, what happened? Well, this young woman right here possibly lost a scholarship. Her school saw a video of her twerking at a party that was off campus. This is a public school in Louisiana somewhere. And the president was so appalled that he removed a recommendation for a scholarship, called her into the office, was talking a whole bunch of Jesus talk allegedly, was very religious. This conversation he had was saying how she let them down. He was very disappointed. It was the president and, correction, I keep saying president. It was the principal and the vice principal in this conversation with this young lady, no other adults present. Mom wasn't notified or anything like that. And this young girl was kind of like, well, what's going on? And she was removed from her position as president of the whatever the student body was, the student government or whatever. She's been since reinstated. The removal of the recommendation for the scholarship was reinstated. Like, oh, we're going to reinstate this. But unfortunately, it happened after the deadline to submit the paperwork, to submit for the scholarship was over. So I don't know if they submitted without the recommendation or they didn't submit at all, but it is what it is. Miss AK Alias, she's like, yeah, LOL at the pep rally video. Sound like somebody is hating on her. It could be that. It could be that. Or you just got, you got these people like the principal, it was, we're supposed to have separation of church and state when it comes to our government and when it comes to education as well. Schools, doesn't seem like it's a lot of separation there. Brother D-Max, like, I don't see a problem with what the principal did. And yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at you, man. He's like, stop that crap. Like I say it on this platform all the time. You know what I mean? Do your dirt all by your lonely. Keep your skeletons in the closet where they belong. I mean, I would never, and trust me, we did all sorts of stuff when I was young, but I'm not trying to dance like that in front of my parents. Her mom was one of the chaperones at the dance in which the video was filmed. Social media, you got to be careful what you put on social media. It's like Tupac said, all eyes on me. Lady Navo's in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. I'm glad you came, good to see you here. I'm glad you came through. Show them some love, but not feeling well. Oh no, take care of yourself. Eat, drink yourself some tea. Take care of yourself now. Get that rest. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. I got family right now that's dealing with some real serious stuff, and I just find myself wanting to fuss at them for not taking it easy. Everybody want to go hard. It's like sometimes you got to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of yourself. Can I get some podcasters in the building, brother? Damien's in the building. What's good, fam? Fellow OG up in this piece. He's like, I think it's a Christian high school. Yeah, but the articles are saying that it's a public high school. So it can only be so Christian if it's public. And I've read a New York Post article, and we just read an article from some small publication down somewhere out there in the South. And yeah, they were saying that they stressed that it was a public high school. But if it's Christian, if it were private, that's a kind of a different matter a little bit. But it still goes to the point, man, stay off of social media. Off-campus party, public school. Let me see. At the bias, what authority did he even have? Yeah, it's based. Like, what authority did he have? The school has announced that he has taken leave for the rest of the year. That lets you know something right off rip. They probably told him, like, you can leave now and resign later, or we can fire you now. while we do this investigation. Of course, if it's a public school, it's going to be an investigation. That investigation might come down from the county, even higher, might come down from the state. Who knows? Well, who knows? We know everyone's talking about it. If I'm talking about it here in Florida, there's other people out there been talking about this, right? Social media has exploded down there. People walking around with T-shirts to say "Let her dance" and all that kind of stuff. You best believe the mayor, the governor, elected officials all over the state have heard about this, and they're going to be all over it. Lady Navoa, not that easy, Dink. I was in the hospital. MS. Oh, okay. Possible ulcers again is severe pain. Oh my goodness, man. Take those meds, sis. Take those meds and rest. Take those meds and rest. Get better. Just, ooh. Sorry to hear that, love. You know what I mean? Make sure you take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Brother D Mac, he's like, I hire people. The first place I'm searching is your social media. Facts. Like facts. And people go there. I mean, that's something you got to realize. That's been going on now for the better part of a decade. I know a lot of people were trying to get some high profile positions and they lost out because of some stuff that were on their social media. Back then it was Facebook. You know what I mean? And then MySpace. I know the United States Army does that as well. Like the U.S. Army will go through your social media. That's the first thing they do. And if the Army's doing it, the other branches is doing it too. So, yeah, some of the recruiters are saying that's one of the hardest problems. They got a bunch of problems. They can't find, kids who are fit enough. They can't find kids who are, smart enough to pass the ASVAB, and they're having trouble finding kids who do check the first two boxes, but there's some bad stuff on their social media. Brother Pitney Jules in the building. What's good, fam? Well, it's unfortunate that off-campus behavior put her hard work in jeopardy. The same sort of thing happens in corporate world. Women of OF get fired from regular jobs all the time. Yes, there's a story I'm working on now. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It was a police officer, female police officer, who pulled a man over and was going to cite him or do whatever police stuff she was going to do. When she walked up on the guy recognized her as an OF woman who he follows. Like he's one of her subscribers or whatever. And he was like real uncomfortable with whatever. He's talking about the stuff that he's paid to see, which is, content that her and her husband has created. And I want to say that they were trying to take her job away from her or something like that. I'm looking for that article. I read it a few days ago. If I find that article, we could talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, bro. You know what I mean? She got fired regular jobs all the time. Extreme example, but you catch my drift. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. You know what I mean? And Lady Navoa is saying they're not working, so I need to get it switched out. Oh, yeah, it's back to what you get. Yeah. And I have until I stop. Yeah, make sure you do what you got to do. Take care of yourself, love, for sure. Take care of you. Forget everything else. Take care of you. You know what I mean? Make sure you take care of you. That's all I can't stress that enough. Last good man Jersey's in the building. What's good, brother Gene? How you feeling? Yeah, man, we're talking about what's going on. Oh, supposed to say, hey, like the video, y'all. Supposed to say that. Got myself a little note right here. Say like the video. Like the video, guys. Also, comment below. Let me know what you think. Yeah, definitely praying for our sister Lady Navoa. Yeah, make sure you take care of you, baby. Make sure you take care of you. But yeah, getting back to this story here. So this young woman, academically, she's doing her thing. She goes to this party. Her mom is there. They're filming. She's dancing. She's turning up. She's getting lit. We're not talking about kids like, underage drinking, or we're not talking about them like smoking or anything like that. She's just having a good time. It's end of the year, it's coming up. She's more than halfway through the school year just partying. Someone sends that video, posts it to social media, and the principal finds it. Even if it is a Christian school, which I didn't read anything about that. They stressed that it was public, but we're talking about media. People like to leave out details sometimes. It is what it is, but they kept stressing it was a public school. And my biggest concern is they had this conversation with this young woman, this young lady, and they didn't have anyone there with her, which I had plenty of, conversations with adults when I was in school. I was a knucklehead. I was used to it. But for the good kids going there to talk to the principals is always a great conversation. They love going down to talk to the principal. You know what I mean? we knew what time it was. They like, wonder what they called it, you know what I mean? I wonder what information they got now. We knew going in it was going to be a problem. But we also knew that they had no definitive proof. These kids today, these people today, they're filming everything. Let's get back to the video though.
Timonette, Kaylee's mom, says she was upset to learn that her daughter was sent to the principal's office.
A child is not going to defend themselves against an adult, especially your principal and your assistant principal.
Kaylee's mom says her daughter was also asked about her religion and forced to watch the video again.
Is this any type of religious-based school?
No, ma'am. This is a completely public school. I just know he's very strong in his faith. They were worried about my afterlife because I wasn't exactly fitting God's ideals. And Mr. St. Pierre printed me out some Bible verses.
But now, the 17-year-old, left feeling distraught and embarrassed, is getting some support. Kids at Walker High are wearing buttons to school saying, "Let the girl dance," and t-shirts to the football game.
Before they even saw that, they were ready to defend me because it wasn't a school-sanctioned event.
We reached out to Livingston Parish Public Schools for a comment. A spokesperson for the district emailed the statement saying the incident remains under investigation, and Kaylee's future still unknown.
Hearing that the best thing was taken away absolutely broke my heart. It was more than just a high school thing. That's my future on the line.
Sydney Simone, NBC Local 33 News.
Well, there you have it. Definitely a public school. They just have a really religious principal. Should call him headmaster. Shout out to Brother Dino. And it seems like that he let his religion get in the way. Now he was in the wrong, but you know, I'm with Brother D Mac on this one. I'm not saying that this young woman should have been punished in the way that she was. I'm saying that the adults, the principal did a bad job here, and he's gonna get dealt with. But you know, the mom was like, well, I have a problem with them talking to my child, in the principal's office. Like, it's not a problem until it's negative. I'm sure she's been in that principal office 100 times to get accommodations and to hear praise and to be told, hey, you go, girl. I'm pretty sure she's been in there 1,000,000 times, but you come in there one time because you're doing something they didn't like. Now it's definitely a problem. Again, that's the good and the bad. That's how the world works. You're about to be a grown-up. You're about to come out of your high school situation going into college. She's still going to get into college, but every dime counts. We all know how expensive that is. Every dime counts. So you want that scholarship, especially if you earned it. You earned the right to compete for it. I get that, but the principal and the vice principal definitely screwed this one up. But there is a thing, let me put it to you like this. I have a young daughter, you know what I mean? I have a preteen, teen now, daughter. And she went to her first dance last year. And we had that discussion. Like, do you know what twerking is? And she said, yes. And I was like, okay, do you think that's appropriate? And then we sat down and we had the conversation before the dance. Right. So I let her know, like, hey, I'm when you're with your girls, like you and your girlfriends, or y'all to sleep over somewhere and it's just y'all girls, if y'all want to twerk and clown and have fun, do that. But if you're doing that at a dance, if you're doing that when there are other people present, other young boys, other young men, you're gonna get attention, and you're not gonna want this type of attention. Now that's what dad is telling daughter. Now I'm watching this thing. Mom is at the dance, like, yeah, you go. Now we saw the video. She was doing whatever, hands up, smacking her girl's bottom. You know what I mean? They're doing, like I said, they would turn up. Fine. But someone's filming. And they can't, no one said that, oh, we didn't know they were filming, because they turn it up even more when they see someone holding the phone up. As soon as you see these phones come up, people really turn up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, I was just saying at the top of this show how I see people filming in Brickell. They start twerking on their own, start doing all kind of stuff, and it's all extremely sexual, right? So is there some responsibility on the part of mom and the daughter in this thing here? I think so. I think so. I wouldn't dance like that in front of my mom. We used to slow dance. What the old folks said. Where my OGs at? We used to slow it down and slow dance. And I'm not going, I would dance in front of, like if my mom was a chaperone or other grown-ups are there, you know, people that know my family and aunts and cousins and whatnot. I dance, but I ain't trying to get all, you know what I'm saying? Now with grown-ups there. Now, once I became a grown-up and I was in the nightclubs, we did whatever we wanted to do. But as a kid, no. I remember chaperoning some events when my sister went to high school. And my sister was like, even the people there, the kids there are like, don't do that in front of him. It's a respect thing. Where that's gone. It seems to be gone now. You know, those young ladies they were turning up. I ain't mad at them. They were dancing with each other. I noticed I didn't see these boys. That was a quick little clip too, but I didn't see too many guys, you know, doing whatever. But the girls were just having fun. I get that, but this is a part of life. This is something. This is a teachable moment. And if I'm mom, I'm really teaching. Hey, let's make sure that we square this away moving forward. You know, there's a certain way you need to behave in certain environments. You know, especially when you're holding this office. There's elected officials in offices, you know, holding offices and all over the world. I think it was it Sweden? They had a female president, very attractive female president who was like, you know, getting lit and having a good time or whatever. And that video hit. You know, I want to say she stepped down or it affected her administration in some negative way. I mean, there is a certain way that you need to act. And yeah, it could be a problem, but you just need to be aware of it. Miss AKA lady, he said, ask her about her religion. Yeah. See, now you're forcing religion practices in a public educational setting, regardless if I agree with the actions. You can't police people based on your own moral standards. I agree with you there. I agree with you there wholeheartedly. The principal and vice principal were wrong. They were wrong in what they did. And that's why the principal took the surprise vacation for the rest of the school year. Right. And the last good man in Jersey is like, someone's not telling the whole story. A principal can't just start using the Bible as a disciplinary tool in the public schools. He looks like he had the one shot, bro. He did it the one time and he ain't doing it no more. He ain't doing it no more because he gone. You're welcome, sis. Yeah, you definitely take care of you, love. Take care of you, love, for real, for real. But he can't do it anymore. And you have people who kind of slip through the cracks. This might be a more religious community, and you know, maybe he took it too far. Maybe he thought he can get away with it, but he took it too far. There's no way you're going to report something like that and think that the parents aren't going to come up and be mad at you unless you're in the Amish community somewhere. Right? Everyone has to be on board with that. And you notice when they did the t-shirts and the buttons or whatever, and they talk about let her dances with a picture of a ballerina. You know, there's some women doing this classical dance. How come it wasn't somebody twerking? There's plenty of pictures out there, people twerking. You know, there was, you know, you see this all the time. You look at the red carpet at some of these events for music and music, not so much for the Hollywood stuff, but for music, you see, I mean, there was some rapper on all fours at one of these events not too long ago. You know what I mean? Just like, what are you doing? And then you see like the see-through dresses and stuff like that. Like, it seems that morality is out of the window. You know, everything is about attention. Okay, whatever. I get it. Attention is the new currency, likes and all that. But there has to be some sort of accountability. There has to be some sort of accountability. Because this was a public school, there's nothing the school should be able to do to, you know, this child. You know, she's still, I mean, she's under 18. She's not legal yet. But again, it should be a learning experience. This should be a very good learning experience. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on in this neighborhood, but the local news is talking about it. And then, you know, mom is sitting there and it's like, you know, she's like, I saw the dance and it wasn't that inappropriate. I didn't have a problem with it. You're going to always get that, you know, people's morals are just not in sync. You know, I'm not cool with my daughter twerking at all. I'm not cool. Don't show me. Now, I understand as a grown up, there's going to come a time where if she wants to do something like that, she's probably going to do it. You know what I mean? Also, there comes a time, let's say she was on the drill team or cheerleading squad or something like that. In the way that they dance, you know, let's say that she decides to go to a historically black college and she's dancing, you know, with the FAMU band, and she's like one of those, you know, bayonettes or whatever they have out there. And these women look good. They look amazing. They out there doing all kind of dances, and it's very highly sexualized. I don't want to see my daughter doing that. If my daughter became the next big star, big, R&B star or something like that, or she was an actress, I wouldn't be cool with it. I'm not trying to see that stuff, even though I understand the art. I wouldn't want to see it. And I would guarantee, I'll bet $1 to a donut that my daughter would be nervous. Even if she was 30 years old, she'll be nervous performing like that in front of me, even if she were acting or even if it was part of a band or something like that. There's no way that my daughter would want to do this Meg Thee Stallion stuff or Cardi B stuff if I'm sitting there. She's just not going to want to do it. And take from that what you will. Just like me, I'm not trying to do that in front of my parents. I'm just not. That's just not the way I was raised. So this round is definitely going to go to the mom and the daughter, because the principal and the vice principal were absolutely wrong. The whole Bible, I'm gonna print out some Bible verses and stuff like that. Nah, that's wrong. You can't do that. What if she was of a different faith? She could have been Jewish. She could have been Muslim. She could have been, what if she was Hindu? Like who knows? Like she could have been Buddhist. That's not the role of the leader of the school to do that. That's just no. And then, she could have been Lutheran. She could have been Seventh-day Adventist. She could have been Mormon. It's just no. That principal deserves to be fired. We'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. But that was wrong. And to be co-signed with the vice principal, like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We're just gonna ambush this young lady and make her watch the video. But that part right there, I'm like, hey man, why you? She was like, yeah, I was horrified they made me watch the video. Why? You knew you were being filmed. You did it. If I came in there, you want to sit me down and make me watch my video of me performing a solo on my saxophone, or me, me scoring a touchdown because you got video of me watching me play football, that's not going to be a problem. So the fact that she felt nervous, like what? Because on some level, she has to acknowledge that, yeah, that may not have been appropriate. And then she didn't have the ability to stand up for it. Like, yeah, I did it. And what she should have, like, yeah, I did it. What? And she could have made that point. We just had a pep rally where the whole school did it. Y'all gonna suspend them? What's going on? But this young woman probably has had a bubble around her, and she's been, the academic star of the school, probably the whole 4 years she was there. The principal probably took more interest in her, because of that. And then for him to do what he did was just dumb. It was just dumb. But for her to sit there and like, oh my God, I just started crying. What you crying about? Because someone's giving you pushback? This is what I'm talking about. Prepare your children for the world as it is, not the world as it should be. And mom is just sitting back like, oh, I'm gonna bulldoze everything out of her way. That's not enough. She's gonna have to stand on her own. So again, I think it's a good lesson. It's definitely a good life lesson. You just can't go out here and do any, what you want to do. You got to be ready to stand there 10 toes down and defend your actions, right, wrong, or indifferent. You got to be ready to do that. That's the lesson that I think could be learned here with this young woman. I think it was excessive. And if she did lose a potential scholarship, which would be hard to prove, but if she did lose the scholarship, if you could prove it, yeah, the school district should be responsible for the money lost. As far as damage to her reputation or whatever, I don't think she suffered any of that. And the only person who's hurt their reputation seems to be this principal and vice principal. And they didn't say anything about the vice principal. Miss AKA lady is saying, yeah, I was never that cool with my folks, and I would never be that cool with my kids, LOL. I don't allow those dance teams either. The way those little girls be dressed is mad weird. It's highly sexualized. Like I said, y'all know I was just at a high school game here recently. My daughter's middle school was invited to the high school to perform the pregame. I'm in the stands. I'm watching these young girls. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old. I can remember being in high school, and I'm like, bro, what are they wearing? Their parents are there. This is a really good high school. Like, their parents are there. Like, the neighborhood is there. They all knew the kids. All the grown-ups knew the kids. And I'm just looking at what they wearing. Like, you let them out the house wearing that. I mean, I can see their cheeks. Like, what's going on? Why are these young girls dressed like that? It was just one little girl. I mean, she had a grown up body. She must have been a senior, right? But what she was wearing was very tight, very revealing. I mean, she couldn't even walk in her body. She was still awkward. She fell in the stands. She fell, and parts of her body was falling out because she fell in the stands. And then she's all embarrassed. I'm like, why are you wearing that? When I was in high school, the girls were wearing sweatshirts and Levi's. It's a Reeboks or FootJoy or something like that. You know what I mean? They weren't even wearing Jordans like that because Jordan was still fairly new. It was a certain way that you dressed, a certain way you went out. You know what I mean? But you look at the drill team, you look at the cheerleaders, they had on the real short shorts and, and I'm sorry, the real short dresses, but they had on not like panties. They had on like the coverings underneath because, that they knew it was going to be, showing or whatever. All right, cool. I could live with that. That's the tradition of cheerleading. I could live with that. Like the cheerleaders in my school and the cheerleaders during my era, they look like the USC cheerleaders. They had a little short skirt, but they have on like a sweater or something like that, or whatever. I could live with that. They were cheerleaders. You know what I mean? Our drill team, same thing. They had like this double-breasted top kind of thing, but then the dresses the skirts they wore were pretty short, and they had on the boots, like cowgirl boots kind of thing. All right, I get it. It's banned. But like the dancing, I mean, now they twerking. It is what it is. And that's what all this stemmed from. Someone filmed this young scholar twerking. Yeah, I think for a fact the vice principal was wrong, and he's definitely going to get fired, rightly so. The vice principal should be. I'm sorry, the principal should be fired. The vice principal should be at least suspended, if not fired. And then they, of course, they're going to have to retrain all of the teachers and administrators on keeping Jesus out of the classroom. That's not appropriate. Separation of church and state. You think y'all will know that, but this is probably just a one-off. This is just this, couple people in the church, correction, in the school who are like really, really into the church, and I get that part. But they're gonna have to own up for what they did, and what they did was wrong. And then you have this young woman thinking, I'm going into college, going into adulthood, thinking, well, I could do anything I want. No, baby, you brought this on yourself to a certain extent. Protect yourself, protect your brand at all time. If you're gonna be out there dancing, look up and see who's filming. Quit posting all this stuff. She couldn't deny it. She couldn't sit there and be like, nah, that wasn't me. Why? Because there's a video of it. And they made her watch the video again. She said she started crying when they made her watch the video on the news thing. They made her watch the video. Plausible deniability only works when there's no proof. Start teaching y'all kids that. Y'all need to understand that. Get that in your head, youngins. That's the only way it works. That's how it works with players. Well, some players you can have a real player like, look, are you gonna believe me or you gonna believe your lying eyes? That's a real player. It's true game. But average folks like, look, you can accuse me all you want. You can think I'm doing something until you have proof. I don't want to hear it. Prove it. Prove it, or I'm walking. Either way, I might be bluffing. Maybe I did it, maybe I didn't. But I'm certain you ain't got proof of it. And if you do got proof on it, all right, you caught me slipping. You caught me slipping, Miss AKA lady. Absolutely not. I see it was I see it was advertising. No midriffs, booty shorts, makeup. Nope, and nope. That's what they do. When I was coming up, it was no midriffs, but they definitely had on the short shorts. I mean, like it was what it was. I was supposed to look up something. Say I was gonna look something up, see if I can find it. And I forgot. It'll come back to me. See, if I don't write it down on my notepad, it's gone. It's gone. And I have the thought, and it'll exit out one of my ears. But yeah, I there's definitely some blame to go around. It's a shame that principal had to make this move. Definitely a shame that he did that. That was just so stupid. This really shouldn't have been, big news. But it is now. There's going to be some follow up. She'll probably get donations. They'll probably set up some sort of GoFundMe or something like that to make up for the scholarship that she potentially lost. Again, they wouldn't be able to prove that she had a scholarship in the first place or not. So, you're going to get a little bit of that. She'll definitely get some financial help, and hopefully she'll be able to focus on school and be, and be successful moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, like twerking in front of your mom, to me, that you just wrong. And that says a lot about that situation between, that dynamic between that mom and that daughter. But hey, to each his own. It's hard parenting out here. I get it. You got people who want to be their kids' friends. I'm not one of them, but there's people out there who want to be their kids' friends. That's how they do it. More power to them. More power to them. I'm cool with that. They obviously, this mom and daughter obviously have a friendship, or it's not that strict traditional parenting that a lot of people are accustomed to. I'm in my 50s, and there's still stuff I wouldn't be comfortable doing in front of my parents. I didn't even want to drink in front of my parents. Think about that. Grown man, gone to war and everything, been through all this stuff in the streets, and I wouldn't drink in front of my parents. I mean, it's just, it's just something. It's just it boils down to the individual thing, bro. And it just kind of changes the way our society is today and the way we move. Yeah, I wouldn't have. If I'm the chaperone and I'm watching I don't dance like that. Again, I've already had that conversation with my child already. She don't even be dancing like that, period. But going to the dance, I told her, like, this is what it is. And I let her know, like, don't do that. I don't think, and my daughter agreed, like, no, it's not appropriate. I know what you're talking about. I see the girls when they be dancing like that, and I see the boys when they come. She understood. Now, was she just hitting me with game? Possibly. Right? I wasn't there, but in the back of her mind, she's like, my father might be here, and there's other parents there that know me. So in the back of her mind, she's like, I better chill out because my parents, my pops might be here. Miss AK lady, it's tough because it's easy to sit from our position and judge today's kids. We did dirt, but cameras weren't there. The kids these days have to be perfect, which is unfortunate. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to know where the cameras are. Somebody gonna pull their phone out, but I mean, it is what it is. They get caught one time slipping. It can happen. They're so accustomed to being in front of cameras. Everyone has a camera. Everyone has like a 5D camera, 6D, 710D key, whatever it is. They all got cameras right there in front of them. They're used to living their life on social media. They want to post that stuff. Look at me. Look at me. I was turned up. I was lit. You see it all the time. You see, how many times do you see somebody doing an interview or whatever, or a YouTube interview, and they'll be talking to somebody, some woman, and she'll say something and it makes her look bad. So what does she do? She'll turn around and start twerking, throwing her butt out. I mean, it's like some sort of defense mechanism. Like, why are you doing that? We just asked you to name 2 countries in Europe and you can't do it. So now you popping your booty in front of the camera. Why? Just pull out your phone and look up the answer. But you're right, though. It's a new generation. It is easy for us to sit here and say what we got to say. You're right. You're absolutely right. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. We shall see. So yeah, that's the show, guys. I just wanted to throw that out there, maybe get some conversations going. Like, was the girl wrong? Yeah, a little bit. Was mom wrong? I think so. Yeah, I would say yeah. The principal, absolutely. The principal, vice principal, absolutely dead wrong in what they did. As for the rest, I guess it's technique. It's your morals are your thing, my morals are my thing. It is what it is. It was a public school. Religion has no place in that, no place at all. So I'll keep my eye on that story and see how it resolves itself. But pretty sure that principal was gone. He's gonna get fired. He's gonna get fired. Just a matter of time. They're just waiting for the official investigation to be over, and then they're gonna get rid of him. Unless they have a teachers union. If they have a strong teachers union, then they could probably keep him around. But most principals wouldn't be in the union. They're administrators, so I don't know how that'll play out. The vice principal is definitely going to be in trouble. Doubt if they get fired, but depending on their involvement, but they're going to be in trouble. And they're going to do what they can to make the child whole. They're going to do what they can to help find some scholarships. And like I said, I think it's going to be some GoFundMe money, and people are going to step up and want to help out and want to be able to send her to whatever school she wants to go to and get her the money and resources she needs to do that, which is a good thing. And like I said, I hope she learned a lesson from all this. Life gets way harder. If you're watching this, love, trust me, life gets way harder. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what awaits you out there in the real world. You know, and if mom is listening, mom is a good opportunity to sit her down and tell her what the real world is like. You know what it is. Tell your daughter what she's going to have to deal with. You know what it is. It is not all lollipops and candy canes out here. It's rough. All right. It is what it is. It's rough. So that's all we got for today. Right. Just wanted to have that little conversation about the Twerking honor student. Tomorrow, we're definitely going to be talking about some, probably some red pill stuff. Probably talk about some dating stuff. There's a couple dating coaches out there I've been watching and kind of listening to their advice. I think I'm going to get into that and break that down. Tomorrow, I'll tell you guys about our trip to Miami and what was going on down there. Again, I always have a good time when I go to Miami. Always have great conversations. I did not get an opportunity to use my little mobile kit. I took it with me, but I forgot to take it out of the room. I had it in the room and I walked out without it. So it is what it is. I kind of messed up. And had dinner at a pretty good restaurant down there. They have so many new restaurants popping up in Miami, like Brickell, Midtown, South Beach. Queen is a really good restaurant. It's a Queen, look it up. Queen, it's in South Beach, it's on Washington. Very good place. Great ambiance. The food is amazing. The wait staff is not that knowledgeable. So if you have dietary needs or whatever, if salt's an issue, or, you know, if you got to worry about, you know, allergies or whatever, the wait staff, management, they're not that knowledgeable at all. They're pretty, they're cute, but they don't know much about what's in that food. So, you know, to be on you to figure that part out. But when the food does get there, oh boy, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's Queen in South Beach on Washington. It's a great restaurant. I'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. That's it. Just want to jump on real quick for an hour. I might jump on late tonight, maybe, or early tomorrow. Definitely gonna be talking about what's going on in the Middle East with Israel, Hamas, Palestine. We're gonna see if Iran gets involved and what's going on with that. It's a lot going on there, guys. I'll be talking about that tomorrow on Downrange, and I'll be doing some more reactions to the good old fashioned relationships and whatnot. And I'm working on another show for artificial intelligence. I'm waiting for Life of Cash to get back. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about the latest variants of AI and what it means to us. And it's crazy out there, guys. It's crazy. And also going to be looking at Wall Street, and we're going to look at our economy and what's going on, especially with what's going on in the Middle East. How is that going to affect America? How can it possibly affect America as far as jobs go, the strength of the dollar, and stuff like that? So be ready for that. All that'll be tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's always a pleasure to see you guys late in the void. Please rest. That's all you should be doing, is resting and doing what the doctor tells you. That's what you should be doing, love. That's all we want to see you to do. And thank you everyone else who was here. Miss AKA Lady That's Good Man in Jersey, Brother D Mac. Appreciate y'all coming through. And we're gonna definitely keep this conversation going. I'm gonna make some clips, and we're gonna talk about it. The Twerking honor student. Well, that's that. I'm DL saying this is the I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.